In this next lesson, we're going to talk about the forward and back steps. We're going to use a variation of 3, though there is a lot more variations that can be done with this step. But we're going to start with the twist. So, taking the step forward and back, when our foot is forward, it's not that far apart from the static leg. So we come forward and back. Now with the twist in the hip, it's like your hip's on an elastic band. We're working on the right hip, so the hip comes forward and back. Forward and back. Forward and back. Forward and back. So if you've got your heel up off the floor, make sure that the plane of your hip going forward and back is in a horizontal. Forward and back. So let's take it to the front and then take the leg to the back and again twist. Now you don't want to take it too far to the back so that you're going to strain your hip. So we're going to take it forward, small step, and back, small step, forward. So twist it to the front and back. Front and back and front and back and front and back, and let's take it to the other side. So front and back and front and back and front and back and front and back, and last one and back to the start. Now the hip lift, we're going to lift up through our heel, and we were doing this in an earlier lesson, but this time we're taking it in a forward and back motion. So again, so we're lifting up the hip and dropping it down. Up, down, not bringing your heel down to the floor. So it's front, and when you take your foot back, your heel's still up, and you lift up. So there's a feeling through your glutes like you're lifting and releasing, lifting and releasing. So really feel it in your hip girdle. So we're going front and back and front and back. That's 3 and 4 and change, and front and back, front, back, front, back, and that's the end of that variation. And now we're going to do a hip bump. Again, same stance. We're taking one foot forward and we're just going to bump it out to the side. So going back to our earlier lesson plan where we were doing hip bumps that were static, we're bumping it out to the front and then taking the leg to the back and bumping it out to the back. Again, take a small step. That's 3 and 4 and change, and left side, 2, 3 and 4. Let's go back to the twists on the right and twist, 2, 3, 4 and change, and twist, 2, 3, 4 and change to your hip lift, 2, 3, 4 and change, and lift, 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 and change to your hip bump and bump and bump. That's 3 and 4 and change. And back to this, and that's the end of this lesson.